All right, people, we got another short video, yay. So we are dividing and multiplying mixed numbers. So the first problem we are given says divide and give your answer in lowest terms. Give your answer in lowest terms means the same thing that I mean when I say reduce. It's another way to say it. So I'm going to copy our problem down. 9 1/3 divided by 18. Okay. Now remember, if we are trying to multiply or divide fractions, it's easiest if we have fractions or both of the numbers in fraction form. 18 divided by 1 would be 18. So I can write 18 as 18 over 1 if I need to make it a fraction. So the next thing that I'm going to do before I get into solving this is I'm going to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction. To do that, I multiply the denominator, the bottom part of the fraction, by the whole number, and then I add the numerator. My denominator does not change. So I go 3 as my denominator. To get the numerator, I'll go 3 times 9, which is 27, plus 1, which is 28. Now I have switched my mixed number into an improper fraction. I'm going to copy down the rest of my problem. Okay, and then I don't want to divide fractions. That's messy. So I'm going to turn this into a multiplication problem. Remember, the trick here when you're dividing fractions is this: copy, dot, flip. So I copy my first fraction. I put a dot to show we're switching this to a multiplication problem, and then I flip the second fraction upside down. Now I'm multiplying fractions much easier. I multiply straight across. I multiply the numerators. 28 times 1 is 28. I multiply the denominators. 30 times 18. 3 times 10 would be 30, plus 3 times 8 would be 24. 30 plus 24 is 54. Now I reduce. They're both even, so they're both divisible by 2. I'll go ahead and start there. The guy in the video was having you reduce before we get to this point, but I like to do this. It gives you certain steps to follow for each problem. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. 54 divided by 2 is 27. Okay. Now I have to think, did these have any common factors that I can divide them by? Are they both even? No, they're not both even, so I can't divide both of them by 2. Only one of them's even. They have to both be divisible by the same number. Okay, I think maybe 5, they don't both end in 5 or 0, can't do that. Maybe 3, I can divide 27 by 3, but I can't divide 14 by 3. So this fraction is reduced. I get 14/27. Okay, multiply and put in mixed number form with fractional part given in lowest terms. Okay, so I've got 3 3/4 times 4 1/5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these mixed numbers into improper fractions. My denominators don't change, so I multiply the denominator by the whole number. 4 times 3 is 12, and I add the numerator. 12 plus 3 is 15. Move on to the next one. Now I'll turn 4 1/5 into an improper fraction. I go 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Okay. Now I've got a multiplication problem, so I'm going to go straight across. 15 times 21. Oh, I don't want to do this in my head. I'm spent today. I get 315 over 4 times 5, which is 20. Now, here's an easy way to do the reduction or get the mixed number. So 315 over 20, remember, fractions are division. So my calculator, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to do 315 divided by 20. You will get 15.75 if you do this. You keep the whole number, the 15. Write your denominator, it's still 20. What I've just done is I've taken 15 20s out of this 315. So I have to figure out what 15 20s are. So I'm going to subtract 15 20s. And what I mean by 15 20s is you do 15 times 20 in your calculator. You'll get 300. So if I do 315 minus 300, I'll get 15. Now I have my mixed number good, but the fraction part is not reduced or in its lowest terms. I know that 15 and 20 are both divisible by 5 because they end in 5 or 0. So I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator in 15 20ths by 5. When I do that, I get 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. I cannot reduce 3/4. When I'm writing my answer, I need to not forget that I have this whole 15 over here. So my answer is 15 3/4. Okay. Same set of instructions. 5 1/4 or 5 1/4 times 1 3/5. Make sure I wrote it down right. All right, turn them into improper fractions. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1. I get 21 over 4 times 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 over 5. This is already a multiplication problem, so I will multiply straight across. 21 times 8, 20 divided by 8 is 160. 1 times 8 is 1. 160 plus 8 is 168. Or you could put it in a calculator. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, now I'm going to reduce. These are both even numbers. I can divide them both by 2. What I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom, and vice versa. What I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. 168 divided by 2 is 84. 20 divided by 2 is 10. I still have 2 even numbers in my numerator and my denominator, so I'm going to divide by 2 again. $84 divided by 2 would be 42. 10 divided by 2 would be 5. I can put 42 divided by 5 into my calculator. What I'll get is 8 point something, 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 something. What I am doing here is taking 8 5s away from that 42. So if I take 8 5s away, 8 5s would be 40 if I had 8 groups of 5. It's hard to explain without any pictures or anything. Anyways, you would do 8 times 5 in your calculator and get 40. You take that away from 42. 42 minus 40 gives you 2. Your mixed number is 8 and 2/5. You cannot reduce 2/5. I've gone over why in past videos. Multiply 4 and 7/12 times 2 and 2/5. Okay, turn them into improper fractions rather than mixed numbers. I'll go 12 times 4, which is 48, plus 7 gives me 55. Turn 2 and 2/5 into an improper fraction. I go 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. I multiply straight across. 12 times 55, 150, 550. Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm using the calculator. 660. 55 times 12 is 660. Then I do 12 times 5, and I just get 60. Now the really cool way to reduce this quickly is to chop off the zeros at the end. If there's matching zeros, you can just slice them. And I've explained why in previous videos, because if you divided 660 divided by 10, you get 66. If you did 60 divided by 10, you'd get 6. So pretend we wrote that all out. So now we have 66 over 6. Now, 66 and 6 are both divisible by 6. Or you could put this into your calculator. Go 66 divided by 6. You'll get 11. You get a whole number. There's no fraction or like remainder or anything. So, and you'll see like these little boxes that they provide you kind of give you a clue as to whether you got the answer right. You'll notice there's only one box and there's no fraction line next to it, so we were supposed to get a whole number. Hooray. 3.5 times 8 and 2/3. Turn them into improper fractions. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Denominator stays the same. 3 times 8 is 24 plus 2 is 26. Denominator stays the same. I multiply straight across. 7 times 26. 7 times 20 would be 140 plus 7 times 6 is 42, so 182. I'm going to double check that because it's the end of the day and I'm getting tired and the sun makes me want to go play outside. Okay, I got it. 182. 2 times 3 is 6. These are both divisible by 2, so I'm going to do that. 182 divided by 2 gives me 91. 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. Let me see if 91 is divisible by 3. I'll do 91 divided by 3. It's not. I didn't get a whole number when I put that on my calculator. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 91 divided by 3 to get to my mixed number. Okay, so when I do 91 divided by 3, I get 30.33333333. So I keep my 30. That's my whole number. What I've done is I've just taken 30 threes away from the 91. So I go 3 times 30 is 90. I take that away from the 91. So in my calculator, I would do 91 minus 90, and I'd be left with 1. I cannot reduce 1/3. 1 is, the smallest, so I can make it smaller. 30 and 1/3 is my answer. More. Okay. 3.5 divided by 2.25. And I check, make sure I wrote it down. 3.5 divided by 2.25. Yep. Okay. Turn them into improper fractions. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, over 2 divided by 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 9 over 4. I don't want to divide fractions. I turn it into a multiplication problem. Copy, dot, flip. Okay, now I'm multiplying fractions much easier. I multiply straight across. 7 times 4 is 28. 2 times 9 is 18. You will notice that both of these numbers are even, so we can divide them both by 2 to begin reducing them. 28 divided by 2 is 14. 18 divided by 2 is 9. These numbers, 14 and 9, don't have common factors. 9 isn't even. 14 is not divisible by 3. So we'll go to our calculator. We'll go 14 divided by 9. You'll get 1.555555. You keep the 1 for our whole number. Our denominator does not change. We just took 1 9 away from this 14 that we had. So 1 9 is 9. 1 times 9 is 9. We take that away. 14 minus 9 gives you 5. Our answer is 1 5/9. 9/10 times 3.5. Okay, we're going to turn these into improper fractions if they're mixed numbers. This isn't a mixed number, so it's already a nice, neat fraction form. Copy it down. Times 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 7 over 2. Now I'm multiplying straight across. 9 times 7 is 63. 10 times 2 is 20. Let me think. Are these both divisible by 2? No, because they're not both even. Can I divide them both by 4? Don't think so. 5? Don't think so. So let's put 63 divided by 20 in our calculator. What we get is 3.15. So I'm going to write 3 as my whole number. What I just did is I took 3 20s out of that 63. 3 20s. 3 times 20 is 60. If I take 60 away from 63 or do 63 minus 60, I'm left with 3. I cannot reduce 3 20ths. So I've got 3 as my whole number. 3 20ths. Yay, time for a review. So that means I'll review this unit. After I do that, I would take my Unit 2 test. All right, good luck.